So one of the things that you write about as one of the graces or benefits of aging is authenticity.
Yeah.
That authenticity is such an important word. It's such a great thing, quality to go for.
Yes, yeah.
So where does authenticity come in here?
Well, for me, it's one of the two, if you will, foundational graces. I think there are two upon which all the rest kind of grow and evolve.
Really?
Yeah. So I think of authenticity in later life as we get to come home to ourselves. And particularly for women, I think men are not encouraged to be who they are either as young people. They're encouraged to look like they know what they're doing and take the reins of power. But as far as being connected to who they are, I think it's difficult for human beings.
Yeah, yeah.
But for women, I think, at least for my generation and older, it's, I think, a little less now. There's a lot of training we get as women to take care of other people's needs more than our own.
Yeah.
And in fact, to kind of lose track of who we are in the process. So it's a very sweet homecoming in later life. There's a shift, I think, that begins to happen around midlife where women start to care more about being at home in themselves than they care about pleasing other people.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is basically the beginning of authenticity. Caring more about being real and doing the things you need to do and the things you need to say versus being accepted or approved of.
Yeah, so we're not putting as much effort into how we look.
Yes.
Yeah, I certainly noticed that in myself, that in the way that I dress, I may not put as much attention into it, etc. Hey, if they don't like it, screw them.
Sort of like that.
It's sort of like that.
Yeah.
Maybe this is more for men, but is a flip side or an aspect of authenticity as we get older crankiness? Or could be perceived as crankiness?
It could be shooting from the hip and not putting on airs as much. Yeah. But I think there is we'll get to that later.
Okay.
But I think there's one other dimension of authenticity for women. Two of them. We come into our power, authentic power, not bossy, bully, domination power, but just living from the inside, and there's more of a self there to work with and speak from.
Yeah.
The other piece that I think applies equally to men and women is we let ourselves be audaciously who we are. That's one of the more enjoyable aspects of getting old. That wonderful poem about when I'm an old woman, I'll wear a red hat with purple that doesn't match, and I'll gobble up all the samples in the grocery store. And there is that sense of, and I think that can sometimes come across as crankiness. Yeah.
I think maybe too what you're doing here is these things may not all come automatically, and in some way paint signposts for ideals to realize that we can aspire to have these to manifest these qualities in our lives and experience them. Yeah.
Yes, I think they are developmental nudges, and we can ignore them.
Yeah.
We can learn from them. We can aspire to them. It isn't automatic, but I do think there's something developmentally that is pushing us in these directions. It's kind of like Jung said about any development in the soul. The psyche is working on our behalf to get more whole, more complete, more real.
Okay.
And we can work with that, or we can completely ignore it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is kind of a continuation of that.
Yeah. So you say authenticity is one of two foundational stones. What's the other one?
Well, the other one is, and this is I don't know what to call this still, but it's in print, the book, so here we are, it's coming out. Self-transcending generosity.